Coming up on SBU TV, we visit a local hardware store as part of our Small Business Series, and Carl Palladino continues to be the talk of the St. Bonaventure campus. Hello and welcome to SBU TV. I'm Catherine Brown.
And I'm Hailey Rose Gattuso. Catherine took a stroll around and found out if people were going to watch Donald Trump's inauguration.
This Friday, Donald Trump will be inaugurated into the presidential office. During these last few months, it's easy to find opinions on the new president-elect.
I think Donald Trump is one of the most dangerous things in politics today.
He did a fantastic job. He came from nothing to something, and I think that's what he would do in a presidency.
Yeah, I just don't see him being a very good president.
I decided to go around and ask people if they were going to be watching the inauguration and what they thought about it. Some answers were pretty serious, others amusing. Oh, are you going to be watching the inauguration Friday? Yes. Yeah. Me too. Yeah? Are you...
No. What's up? No.
No.
I didn't even know it was Friday.
Most likely.
I will not be watching.
I probably won't watch the inauguration. I'll probably wait for Trump to live tweet it.
Pretty important piece of history to be a part of. You know, it's exciting to see what's going to happen next. The biggest thing is, you know, just seeing everyone's reaction to these elections. You know, it's not a normal, inauguration. And just pretty excited to see what happens in the future and see how everyone cooperates.
The dude's a clown. I'm sorry, I just can't bring myself to watch an inauguration for a president who has zero political experience, and just acknowledge the fact that he will be the next president. I could definitely do something better with that time and kind of in protest as well.
Of course, opinions vary, but I think we can all agree the inauguration will certainly be amusing. For SBU TV, I'm Catherine Brown.
Many people won't be able to turn away from their computers.
Carl Palladino continues to be the talk around St. Bonaventure campus. Brittany Slomba reports.
In late December, a Buffalo-based newspaper published Carl Palladino's racial remarks in a story titled, "What Do We Want for 2017?" These remarks have made international news, and almost immediately, interim president of St. Bonaventure University, Dr. Andrew Roth, released a statement condemning the remarks that Palladino, an alumnus and former trustee of the university, made about the president and first lady. Roth said, quote, "Mr. Palladino's remarks in Art Voice are reprehensible and in complete contradiction to the values of St. Bonaventure University. At St. Bonaventure, we believe in an inclusive community that values diversity as a strength." A student-driven petition was created here at the Palladino House, a townhouse on the east side of St. Bonaventure's campus. Dr. Roth informed the campus community that the townhouse is dedicated to Palladino's parents and not Carl Palladino himself. Dr. Barry Gann, the director of the Center for Nonviolence at St. Bonaventure University, talked about the effort to remove Palladino's name from the townhouse.
When people do things that violate the trust of the community and the values of the community, I don't think the community should hold them up and honor them, but should work with the person to see that they grow to inculcate the values that we share as a community.
For SBU TV, I'm Brittany Slomba.
University administrators have recommended to the Board of Trustees that the name of the house be changed to the Belisario and Sarah Palladino House.
This week in our series on local businesses, Madeleine Faircloth visited a local hardware store.
From tool belts to dog treats and all the screws in between, Worth W. Smith Hardware is home to industrial and household necessities, agricultural feed, a self-playing piano, and even a semi-friendly cat.
Since 1929, this Twin Tiers hardware store has been supplying the local Olean community with not-so-typical hardware store products.
Priding themselves on those unusual finds, owner Nate Smith explains the history dating back to his grandfather.
He was Worth W. Smith. I started in Farmers Alley, Pennsylvania, about 30 minutes from here. My father ran it for 5-6 decades. He's retired. I've grown up here, worked here my whole life. We're a hardware store, we're an industrial supply, agricultural supply. We sell lumber, we do a little bit of everything.
So what keeps the shops prosperous against the nearby Home Depot and Value Home Center? Smith says not only more supplies, but the customer service that comes with them.
We've survived. Not only have we survived, we've thrived. Our business has grown. Very regular customers, very loyal customers. I love the people. I love customers. I like the people I work with. That's the funnest part.
Open 7 days a week with 5 locations, ranging from Salamanca, New York to Eldred, Pennsylvania, Worth W. Smith offers screen repairs, iron pipe and steel cutting, as well as lumber services, just to name a few. For SBU TV, I'm Madeleine Faircloth.
For more information, visit worthwsmithcompany.com.
New legislation may change higher education statewide. Ethan Kibbe reports.
The best things in life are free, and tuition at public universities in New York State may soon be as well. Earlier this month, Governor Andrew Cuomo announced a plan that would cover tuition for students whose families make less than $125,000 a year.
The governor's plan would work well for students as it would allow them to leave college and still have some money left in their wallets.
Jamestown Community College student Bryson Mullins says tuition-free school would benefit him greatly.
It would give me a good place to start out. I wouldn't have to really worry about debts, and at the same time I would be saving up for my own future.
Mullins' classmate, Caitlin Baldwin, on the other hand, says she would feel unfocused if she wasn't invested in her education.
It doesn't make me feel responsible to actually do, like, taking care of stuff.
Professor Julie Musial also sees flaws in the proposal and thinks it may jeopardize her job.
I think actually the program might hurt community colleges in the sense that if students are going to be able to go to a school of their choice, they would want to go to a four-year school where they can get their education from beginning to end.
As for private schools like St. Bonaventure, Interim President Dr. Andrew Roth says they may have to close, which would hurt the entire region.
So if St. Bonaventure were to perhaps go away, what happens in the economics of the greater Olean Allegheny region? It could be devastating.
For SBU TV, I'm Ethan Kibbe.
The governor's proposal, if approved by state Congress, would be phased in over the next 3 years.
The St. Bonaventure community gathered to celebrate the life of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Amelia Kibbe has the story.
Through the storm, through the night.
At St. Bonaventure University's Martin Luther King Jr. Day celebration, students sang, recited poetry, and prayed for justice. In a further show of respect, Interim President Dr. Andrew Roth announced beginning next year the university will close to observe the holiday. Black Student Union Treasurer and event MC Stephvan says he is grateful university administration finds it important to recognize King's civil rights accomplishments.
I felt that it was a wonderful thing that was the first thing that they did, starting up 2018 of next year.
Although university officials have yet to announce exact plans for next year's schedule, it's clear that students won't be climbing these steps to head to class. As for this year's event, Black Student Union President Soquana says the club worked hard to organize the event so early in the semester.
We thought it would be our responsibility to come up with this event so that campus would be aware that, we do have a presence on campus and we as a community do care.
We'd be remiss if we as a community did not come together and honor the life and legacy of the late, great Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Along with Charity Hammond singing, Love Nicholson read 2 poems from Langston Hughes, a poet and social activist.
Besides, they'll see how beautiful I am and be ashamed I am America too.
With SBU TV, I'm Amelia Kibbe.
Although the event had to be moved inside due to rain, Henry says the Black Student Union appreciated the large turnout.
The university is taking steps towards closing for more holidays next year. Hailey Rose has more.
Bonaventure students may be getting more than just Martin Luther King Jr. Day off if Interim President Dr. Andrew Roth has anything to say about it.
There's a little stir about President's Day, which happens to be something that's somewhat dear to my heart as a
I'm not a professional historian, but I would probably be called an amateur historian. And it does kind of puzzle me that we're not closed on President's Day.
And Martin Luther King Jr. Day may be a day dedicated to service.
I think it'd be much more important to create activities in which people actually do service. Dr. King, if he stood for anything, stood for service in service to other people.
Parker Suddeth, coordinator of the DiMura Center for Multicultural Student Affairs, agrees with the president on this matter.
The MLK Day off is really a day on, so you're committing to a day of service. You know, I think that is the thing that if we really want to commit ourselves to the betterment of Dr. King's legacy, that's his life's work, and that's what we have to do as well.
To see which holidays St. Bonaventure has off, visit their academic calendar at sbu.edu.
A group of St. Bonaventure students took a service trip to the Bahamas. Josh Svetz has more.
During the tail end of winter break, SBU's Enactus Club helped local children and residents in the Bahamas, an entrepreneurial service organization. Enactus has made service trips to Uganda, Haiti, and other countries in need. This year, the Bahamas was especially important to the club due to the devastation caused by Hurricane Matthew.
We were rebuilding different homes, roofs, painting.
One handicapped resident named Fritz had his house rebuilt after several false promises from other organizations.
We rebuilt his entire home, his roof, painting, cleaned it all up, and just seeing how happy he was that, because people have been telling him that they would fix it for a long time, and he almost didn't want us to come because he just thought it would be another empty promise, so that was really cool to see.
And of course, the Bonnies had to bring the juju to the kids, with a twist.
Slide, drop, learning's all we got, hey, we're sharp, hey, we're sharp. Everyone on their feet, everyone on their feet, everyone on their feet, everyone on their feet. Now do your dance, do your dance, do your dance, hey. You're sharp, your beat is fast, hey.
For SBU TV, I'm Josh Svetz.
Enactus takes the same trip every January.
Parking at St. Bonaventure seems to be a continuous problem. Nicolette has the story.
Students at St. Bonaventure see a full parking lot every day when trying to park their cars on campus.
Problems I have is at the Richter Center, I always feel like people that work in the RC are parking at the Richter parking lot, so I can never, sometimes I have to park by Plasman just to get to the Richter Center. So I feel like they should be parking at Plasman, and people that are just using the Richter should have more spots there.
Every year it has been a challenge with the limited spots available for students.
Like as a freshman I got a ticket, and it was just because I didn't know like teacher parking versus student, and I think a warning would have been better than a $30 ticket.
SBU TV, I'm Nicolette DiMura.
Parking is an ongoing process, and security does their best handling the issue.
Well, that does it for us here in the Coop. I'm Hailey Rose Gattuso.
And I'm Catherine Brown.
Thanks for watching.